Hello, everyone. Nice to hear you and see you finally after a short period, a short break, let's say, after NRF in New York, after Christmas time and New Year time and all these holidays. So we are finally back. Mitul, it's really nice to see you. How are you?
I'm great. Very excited for the first retail talks of 2025. I've just about gotten used to the fact that it's 2025, and I'm very excited to hear a bit about NRF from you. You just mentioned it,
But
but
let's
also,
start. Let's make last time as we started, we didn't introduce ourselves. So we just,
yeah,
just started. Let's introduce ourselves first a little bit and just a couple of sentences about us and about the companies that we are managing. And then I will tell you nice stories about New York and NRF. You can start.
awesome, cool. Yeah, good refresher for everyone who's back after the break, right? So, Mithul, I am the founder and CEO of Refive, and we basically help retailers to get to know their in-store customers, to build stronger relationships with them, and to be able to give them that personalized experience in store that so far they were only able to give online. And that means a lot of data, a lot of AI, and a lot of ideas about how to keep customers happy are what I spend a lot of time thinking about in the retail context.
Thank you. It's very good to have you in these kind of discussions because you have always actually the consumer view. And I think this is very important because on one side, the tech guys like we are very creative and wants to create something, but then we forget the consumer at the end because we are, just innovating something. So that's why it's good to have you in all these kind of discussions that we are establishing now. Let me give you a couple of words about myself. So I'm Darko. I'm one of the founders of the company called Fiscal Solutions. We love regulations. It's basically like that because we are helping the retailers and post software vendors and solution vendors in general to be law compliant in many different countries. So that's why this is some kind of crazy combination. Guy who loves the regulation and guy who has a consumer in the focus. So I'm sure this will be very exciting today as well. Um, NRF. Yes, it was very good. I had a feeling that it was bigger than the last time, especially the innovation area, because they moved it a little bit. The innovation area was in previous year on the second level, I think, and now they move it level a little bit in the bigger area, in the different level. And it made lots of sense because then there were simply more companies over there. This was really interesting. I loved that. What was not maybe that good, but it was okay. You see that AI is really buzzword. Everybody's writing about AI. And if you start discussing and asking about concrete solutions for the concrete problems, it will be difficult. But it's very positive that people are thinking about that and trying to find the best possible solutions. So that's what I loved actually. But from the perspective of the exhibitor, because we were exhibitor, it was really good because we are niche product, let's say, and the people are visiting us on purpose. They know exactly they have a trouble to go in certain countries. They see that we are there and they jump to us and start discussions. So for us as exhibitor, it was really good. Yes.
Exciting. And so, just as AI is the buzzword right now, a few years ago, Web3 was the buzzword.
Yes.
And, that topic seems to be somehow making a comeback.
Yes.
And I remember when that Web3 wave was happening, around 22, 23, or well, 21, 22, retailers started getting quite involved in the space.
Yes.
And not today, well, a few days ago, you messaged me saying, hey, there's all of these new Trump coins happening, and
Crazy.
crypto is suddenly on everyone's mind again. What is that going to do for retail? And my first reaction was, what is Darko talking about? I don't see anything between the Trump coin and retail. This is not NFTs. This is not loyalty. What's going on? And then I spent some time thinking about it. And I'm actually quite excited to hear your perspective on it today because I do think there is some connection. But I think you, in your various roles, also as Professor Keating, once upon a time,
Yes.
have
Still,
spent
still,
a
still,
lot.
I'm still active there in the space. Yes. I am.
I've spent a lot of time on this, and so yeah, maybe you want to take the lead on that. And what are you trying to convince me of today?
Yeah. The question is again, always we have just one major question. Does it make
Yeah,
sense to do crypto in retail or not? That's the question that I will ask you later. But
yeah,
first, let's discuss a little bit and let us give this the environment and make the setup, let's say, or explain a little bit the situation, what happened, and why I thought that it's very important to talk about that. First, the topic of the session today is called Trump's cryptos, revolution or risk for retail. Why Trump's cryptos? Because there are actually certain plans which Trump is communicating that he wants to establish USA as a leading country in the crypto space, which is actually fine, and this is great. But the way how he is doing that are maybe not that beneficial for the retailers, and this is the topic that I want to discuss today. One of the topics that he has on his agenda is to reduce the regulations. If you reduce the regulations, it could be fine, of course, to increase the startups and the companies that are doing something fine. But on the other side, you can increase by that also illegal things and the
mm,
gray businesses, let's say. I call them gray because it's really between being legal and illegal. So we will discuss that. Is that good or bad to remove or reduce regulations? So this is one way that he is planning to do. And the other ways are, of course, related to the establishing and pushing and supporting certain companies to do something. Fine. This would be everything okay because it's a planning and you can discuss, and his consultancies could help him to make it on that or this or that way. But he's also very active in the space. And this is something which we should discuss. Let me give you a couple of words about the history of Trump in the space, crypto space, I mean now. He's very active since already 12, 13, 14 months, something like that. So it's not since yesterday. He
mhm.
published already 3 different NFT collections and he made
Oh,
millions by that. This is interesting. He published one ordinal collection. Ordinals are actually NFTs based on the blockchain. So
mhm,
it's fourth one actually. Then he established a platform for the decentralized financing and finance topics, DeFi, which is already interesting, okay. But the most interesting topic are 2 meme coins that he just published 2 days before he become official president, before
mhm.
inauguration. And this is something what is, I think, very controversial at least.
Yeah.
Um, Before we go into the detail, I'm sure that people are not that sure what is actually meme coin. So I would love to spend just the 5 minutes to explain it. And for that, I have some tools with me. So this is typical euro coin. Everybody knows it, of course. It's a 2 euro. It's valuable. It has value of 2 euro, and you can buy the item with that because you can, of course, exchange the value perfectly. You can make it digital. And if you make it digital, what you get is following. You get, just a second, digital euro. Now it's digital. It's in my tablet. Okay, it's fine.
Right
But
click and save.
yes, you can do that, no problem. But it still has a value. And you can still use that digital value to buy something because it's still euro. It's just a different format. It's not physical anymore. If you put that euro, let's say, on the blockchain, you get cryptocurrency. So it's a digital currency which is on the blockchain. Blockchain is the technology which is implementing it. It's a cryptocurrency. You can use it to buy something. Fine. The world is still fine. But then if you create the same digital token without value, it becomes meme coin. So it's just a digital token which you cannot use. There is no utility behind, and people are buying it. And now
So
I'm sure.
collectible. Yeah.
Sorry?
Like a collectible, right? Like a Pokemon card.
But all of them are same because there are millions of them. They are fungible. They are not non-fungible. They
Non-fungible,
are
right.
fungible. There are like a millions of them. So the collectible value is also not there. So there is
Mm,
nothing. There is no value. There is it's just for fun. People call it cultural value, but there is nothing. And that's why I'm asking myself, and everybody is asking himself, why are people buying it then? Because there is no value, you cannot use it, you cannot do anything. Nobody knows. They are buying it just to buy it, nothing else. Crazy, right? But people are doing that. And Trump used that psychology, let's say, that people are buying it. He issued on the 18th of January meme coin, coin without value, token without value. Um, and he earned in a couple of hours billions, not millions, billions. Can you imagine that? So that token started with zero value and it exploded all the way to the $70 value per token. And now it's somewhere around $35 or something like that. So I can show you. This was the, let's say, the tweet and the advertisement that he started. And then, of course, we had a chart which was like crazy, from 0 to €70, and then to or $70, and then to $35 as we have it today. Crazy. But that was not enough for Trump. Just one day after that, he issued another meme coin. And that meme coin was called Melania, like his wife, of course, the first lady. Fine. And that meme coin made money as well. Now it's sitting around 2 point something dollar. It made a huge peak, you see. And this means that everybody who was investing in the early phase on the beginning made a huge money. He made huge money, billions, unbelievable. And now we have a lots of questions. How this situation affect, let's say, the businesses? We have to say that this kind of situation is happening, of course, because he has a big influence. He is the most powerful person in the world. He is representing the most powerful country in the world. So this is a responsibility which he has. And now he's doing something like that. Okay, we can discuss about that. How is that influencing? Is that let's say, ethically and moral correct or not? I'm not sure, but never mind. It's happening. On the other side, this is opening the possibility, let's say, for whomever to buy those tokens. So imagine the situation that Croatian government buy billions of those tokens which are belonging to him. And nobody would know that that was done by the government of Croatia. So this means the situation for the future businesses is getting also somehow gray. And now, even if all of that is legal and it's fine and there is no conflict of interest, everybody is talking about that. And if the people are talking about that, half of the people will be afraid of it and will think, oh, what's going on there? Don't touch it. And the other half will say, okay, I will do the same, or maybe I will follow the lead or whatever. So this means the industry will suffer from that in any way, because the people will, retailers and businesses will be afraid to do something, because now we are having the situation which is even more risky and more unstable, because the most powerful man did that, what he did. So this is the short overview, the short part of the story. What do you think about that? Do you see now the connection to the businesses which should accept it as a payment?
I think it's two-edged, right? I mean, anyone who's followed the crypto space, meme coins, all of that in the last 3, 4, 5, 10 years knows that it's been full of these pump and dump schemes. There's been scams all the time. There doesn't a week go by where someone hasn't committed a crime like this, right? You had the Hawk Tuah coin a few weeks ago, where they also did the pump and dump.
Good example, yes.
And exact same story, right? It went up, then the people who issued the
Yes.
coin started selling theirs, it went down. And so as a space, it's getting, if you're familiar with it, you don't touch certain things. It's risky. There's other things that are serious, you go with it. So that's the risky side, I think, because I think, if you dig into it, crypto has been around for almost 15 years now, right? Since the first Bitcoin was minted and so on and so forth. We're at almost 15 years now. So that's a long time for a technology to exist. And people are still very skeptical about it. And this kind of stuff doesn't help. Like you said, the most powerful man in the world is basically using it to make a bunch of free money from poor people who get excited because they see his name, right?
Yeah,
Let's call it what it is. You call it a meme coin, you call it what you want. It's a scam at the end of the day.
I see it as well like that. Yes.
But on the other hand, he is also someone who's saying that he wants to finally, treat crypto for what it is, which is a powerful technology which has a lot of use cases in the industry, for payments, which affects retail, for keeping a ledger of ownership of different things. Again, something that's important in retail, and so on and so forth. So I think, and that's the interesting thing about Trump, right? He has a way of doing very bizarre things, and through that making a lot of topics suddenly acceptable in society. And I think this might become one of those things where, by doing something very weird, by causing some damage, but at the same time, with the power he has over regulation, he might actually be the one who finally gets crypto into a place where it starts to see even more real world adoption. And by that, I don't mean more people trading for the sake of making profits, or more people, doing NFTs, or buying meme coins, but actually more and more real world use cases of crypto in payments, crypto in, record keeping, crypto and transparency, and so on and so forth. Because Trump, who is also now being supported by what seems like the whole tech industry, is finally saying, you know what, this is not a bad thing. Let's use it, and let's create the next wave of technology that's based on blockchain and powered by AI.
I don't agree. I definitely don't agree. Look
Now
at
it's going
this.
to be exciting.
Yes, because the problem is that the people will not jump on the train and will like the crypto and will say, okay, now I want to use crypto as well because it's great. No, they will say, hey, if I invest today 100 euro for whatever, tomorrow it will be just only 10 euro. So it's very risky. Don't touch it. So this means we will lose the people because the people will think the guys which have influence, the influencers, and Trump is influencer, will make lots of money. Will they put money, billions in their own pockets? But me, with my 100 euro, I cannot make it on the same way. I have to say to wait to see what those big guys are doing, and maybe I have some crumbles or what is the real world. And this would mean that the people will leave the crypto. If the people leave the crypto space, the companies which are in the crypto space will die because they will not have money to survive. Very simple. The customer will not be there. If the customers are not there and the companies which are driving it are dying, the space is dying. And the retailers will never use it. And the reason is very simple, because if I want to sell my item, I have to be sure that the value which I am receiving has the value at least as long as I put it into the bank. If I give it to the bank, then I don't care anymore because it's in the books. It's in the accounting, it's done. But if I lose 50% of my value that I received for a certain item just on the way from the POS to the bank, I have a problem to pay my suppliers. So this means I would never accept a crypto payment, because if I do that, what shall I do with crypto, which can lose 20% in a second, let's say, just like that? And activities which Trump is doing now, and reducement of the regulations, they are just increasing volatility of the space. They are not stabilizing it. And he is participating on that and using that volatility to make own money.
Big money, yeah.
So his interest is that it's volatile because then he's making more money. If you remove the regulations, there is no money. And by the way, regulations is what I love the most, because imagine if you are selling today any kind of digital products like downloads or videos or whatever, you have to pay VAT, right? And if you're not, fiscalization will catch you and they will know, and governments will know that, and you have a problem. Only in the crypto space, you are not paying VATs. No
That's true.
VATs. And this is unbelievable. So if we push the crypto space like it is today to grow, the gray economy will grow and the countries will not earn the VATs that they should earn. So this means we will cause the bigger problem. And now if you talk about the big guys, big retailers, those companies wants to pay VATs. They need regulations because this is the way to set up easier, making them easier to set up the business, because they have just the rules, they follow those rules and they are good to go. They don't need their own rules and different rules in each country. So it's a much easier for them if they have rules. And it's, of course, stabilizing the industry. That's why I don't agree.
But don't you think it would be quite easy to just apply VAT in the crypto space as well? I mean, all those transactions
Oh,
are on chain. It's
it's
very easy
very,
for them to crack it, and basically,
I will,
in
tell you,
fact, you could already send that VAT via that transaction to the government directly.
look at this. In It's very difficult. And the biggest problem is the anonymity, because
Mhm.
nobody know, you can open the wallet, nobody knows in which country are you sitting. And already that is a problem because you don't know which VAT should I calculate.
Mhm.
The online shop, typical online shops in Europe, have to calculate VAT rates depending on the country of origin of the consumer. If
Mhm.
you don't know where the consumer coming from, you will probably apply that one in the country where you are sitting. And this is
Right.
already the problem. Then you cannot reconcile between the countries. So it's the first problem in the crypto space is that the people can act anonymously. Nobody knows who you are. And that's why the governments are first trying to implement identity, like
Mm.
identity on the blockchain and so on. Because
So
then
now we can do WorldCoin. Yeah.
yes, then I can catch the guys and then I can implement all other rules. Okay. And the situation, so from my point of view, too many rules and regulations are not good, of course. Uh, but we need the right rules. So it's not the question of the quantity of the rules, but the right rules. And that's the point. From my point of view, the retailers should simply wait, see what will happen in the future, how the new regulations in US will be established, what will happen, and then react. But in the moment, I would not do anything.
In
What
fact,
would you recommend retailers?
my, I'm with you on this completely, right? And my impression is also that in the last couple of years, retail has cooled down on Web3 and crypto quite a lot. The only recent example I have in the last 6 months is maybe the Hugo Boss loyalty program that's sort of blockchain based.
Mm.
And besides that, in terms of payments, in terms of loyalty, in terms of any of these other use cases, I've not seen much action. The only space, and this could be an interesting topic for a future retail talk, is the digital product passport that's
Mhm.
being implemented by the EU, where they want to have every product coming into the EU to have a sort of digital footprint from
Yeah, this is good.
wherever the cotton was harvested
Yeah.
to the thread was made, to the fabric was made, to it was converted into clothes and sent to Europe. And for this, blockchain is absolutely perfect, right?
I agree.
Because
Yes.
how else do you track that? But that's a very back office, behind the scenes kind of use case that most people are never going to see in the day to day life. So my impression is retailers are, anyways, not doing anything with this right now, and I think that's the right thing. I'd like to think that maybe in a few years we see a bit more clarity around this, and a lot of this scamminess, a lot of the noise, a lot of that ends, so that the space can finally mature and create value for everyone. But until then, we'll have to just keep waiting for more funny meme coin stories.
To be honest, I agree absolutely with you. And to be honest, I'm even a little bit more, let's say, extreme in that area, because I think the new administration in US will cause more problems than good things, because the big companies will move away from the crypto even more. The image will not get better. Let's call it like that. I think the companies within the space, within the crypto space, will struggle more, and all of that together will not be helpful. And I don't see that the motivation of the new administration is to create good rules. The
Mhm.
motivation is to reduce the rules and by that to attract the companies. And I think this is wrong strategy. It should be exactly opposite, to create the right rules. But
Beginning
let's,
of a hierarchy.
yeah, exactly. Good. Uh, M- Mitul, thank you. Let me just give you to our audience just one word about this format, what we are doing of the show. So what we want to do is actually to have a sharp and short discussions about topics which are happening. We want to do it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and now we are already again at 30 minutes. But okay, that's life. But this is how we want to react. And we are, by the way, streaming on X as a space as well. So if you want to join us, you can do that, of course. Or any comment is, of course, will comment as well. And we would include it and discuss it too. But I think for today, we should stop now. Last question. We didn't answer that with yes or no. Crypto for retailers, yes or no? No.
No.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. Although I love crypto space.
Thanks for a great chat again, Darko. Looking forward to the next one.
Next week again. And guys, see you next week. Thank you, Mitul. See you.
See you.
Bye.